I want to bring in someone that I remember meeting several years ago when he first came to Memphis. He is in charge at the Orpheum Theater, and he is someone that, you know, sky's the limit with Brett Batterson. He is doing an amazing job at the Orpheum, and I'm so glad that he's joining us on the digital desk. Brett, how are you? Good morning.
Well, I'm much better with that introduction. Thanks so much for those kind words.
I mean, how long have you been in Memphis now? 6, 7 years?
It'll be 7 years, December 1. So what is that, 20 days? 20 days,
yeah,
it'll be 7 years.
I think it was, what was it, like a Greater Memphis Chamber event? I think you were introduced as the leader of the Orpheum, and I've seen you here and there doing some great things. You've really embedded yourself in the community, and the Orpheum is shining brightly, you know, and it's just such a gem for not only downtown, but certainly for Memphis and the Mid-South. And I understand you got a great fundraising event that's coming up next week. Tell me about it.
Well, thanks for saying how important the Orpheum is, because it really is important to Memphis, and we want it to remain important to Memphis. And to do that, we need to raise money. So we are hosting, for the first time in 3 years, our live fundraising event called the Soiree. It's on November the 18th at 7 p.m. And it's going to be a lot of fun. It's based on the musical Chicago, which is coming to the Orpheum this spring. So it's, got a speakeasy feel, a 1920s feel. Our jazz band that'll be playing live music is playing 1920s music. There'll be a cigar coach outside that people can enjoy a cigar. Lots of items to bid on in the auction. Just a lot of fun, great food, great drink, and we invite everybody to join us.
So I see, like, okay, so you have drinks there, you have an auction, you got Chicago. Tell me more about the soiree. It's Chicago based. Is that what you said?
No, it's Chicago themed. So Chicago the musical is celebrating its 25th year this year, and we're bringing it to Memphis in celebration of the 25th anniversary. So when we looked for a theme for this year's soiree, Chicago seemed to make perfect sense. So the theme is speakeasy, jazz, sultry jazz, just that 1920s Al Capone Chicago feel, if you will. That's the theme of it.
I was going to say, is it like a roaring 20s, almost like it has that feeling, right?
That would have been a good word for me to use. Yeah, roaring 20s. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly the theme, yes.
Excellent.
And we have food, lots of great food, a photo booth. After the auction, we'll have a silent disco, which if you have never done a silent disco, you need to. That's where everybody has their own earphones listening to music, and they may not be listening to all of the same music, and everybody dances to their own music, and it's just a lot of fun. It's really great to watch, even if you don't dance. I'm not a good dancer, but I enjoy watching it. We've got the live auction, like you say. We're not going to have, a little bit different this year, we're not going to have a silent auction at the event. We're going to have a silent auction online while the soiree is going on and for 3 days after. So that's a little bit different than we've done in the past. It won't be as auction heavy as past fundraisers, but we have some great things to bid on at the auction. And we hope we have a lot of people, and we hope we make a lot of money. We hope people come and are generous and reach deep into their pockets.
So I know that you have to RSVP by this Friday, from my understanding, for this event that's 1 week from this Friday, November 18th. Want to make sure people know that. Friday, November 18th at 7 o'clock is when the event is. You have to RSVP no later than this Friday, November 11th. Tell me where, obviously a fundraiser, tell me where the money goes. I mean, obviously it's the Orpheum, but are there any specific programs or different groups, that sort of thing?
Yes. So we have a very strong and impactful education and community engagement program here at the Orpheum. We do a number of performing arts camps. We do a number of interactive field trips. Today, actually, out in the classroom down the hall from my office, we have 100 kids taking advantage of a field trip. We also do special camps like Camp Say, which is a program for young people who stutter. and Mending Hearts Camp, which is a performing arts camp for young people who have experienced the death of a parent. So we're doing just a variety of programs educationally. And this money, all the money raised at this event, goes to support those education programs to make sure everything remains accessible to everyone in the community. And this year, we're also starting a really exciting ticket fund so that we can buy tickets to some of the Broadway shows that come to the Orpheum for young people who might not otherwise get to come to the Orpheum and see a Broadway show. We want to expose everyone in Memphis to Broadway, and that takes money because we have to buy those tickets. We don't get to give those tickets away for free. And so that's going to be a big part of this year's soiree, is raising money for that fund.
Agreed. Okay, so where people can sign up and where they can RSVP, do they just go to Orpheum-Memphis.com? Is that the best way?
Yes, Orpheum-Memphis.com is our website. That's the best place to purchase tickets, like you said, by this Friday. Tickets are $125 and includes, all the food and drink that you might want that evening. So it's not even a very expensive fundraiser.
Let me ask you this, and this is just us talking here on the digital desk. You've been here now almost 7 years next month, and we know the kind of gem that the Orpheum is for our entire region. Tell me what the last 7 years have been like from your perspective, watching and seeing people support the Orpheum, being a part of such a great place that brings in incredible acts from all over the world and the country.
Well, I've said this before. I think I'm the luckiest man in the world because I have this position. I've, spent a career to get to this job is how I look at it. And this is the culminating job for me. To answer your question, it's been so exciting to watch the growth of the Orpheum. And we were, we had a really great trajectory going for the first 4 years I was here. And we were doing new shows. We got the Tennessee premiere of Hamilton for Memphis, and then the pandemic came. But I have to say, I'm really proud of how the Orpheum, the board and the staff and everyone involved with the Orpheum came through the pandemic. I'm sure you remember we got creative. We played miniature golf on our stage. When I first suggested we do that, people looked at me like I was crazy. But it lasted for 17 weeks, and it's now the longest running show in the history of the Orpheum is mini golf during the pandemic. We also did some candlelight concerts in the parking lot when it was okay to have people gather, but outdoors. We did some outdoor concerts. We'd never done that before. And we unveiled the restoration of our Wurlitzer organ during the pandemic. So I'm really proud of what we did during the pandemic, and now I'm actually quite proud of what we're doing to recover from the pandemic and our growth going forward. We've got a great Broadway season. We've got a great onstage at the Halloran Center series. Everything's looking good, and I'm just happy to be part of it and to have such great people to work with and such great facilities and be in such a great city as Memphis, Tennessee.
Well, Brett, we're certainly happy that you're here and glad of your success and getting creative during the pandemic. I think that was tough for everybody in your industry. Once again, I want to show everybody the Orpheum Soiree that is going to be 1 week from this Friday, November 18th, 7 o'clock. It's going to be this Roaring 20s Chicago-themed event. All kinds of different things are going to be there, all kinds of drinks and fun events and all kinds of you got a photo booth, you got a silent disco, live auction, silent auction, that sort of thing. But you gotta RSVP this Friday to be a part of it. $120 tickets. Brett, anything else we can say before we let you go?
No, but you just knocked $5 off my ticket. It's $125. I want to make sure we get that right. But no, I thank you, and I thank Channel 5 for all you do for Memphis and for the arts in Memphis, especially. You're great supporters and advocates for our city. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Brett, thanks for all that you do, all the hard work to make the Orpheum fantastic and shine downtown. We appreciate it very much. Good luck November 18th.
Thank you.